Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, April 26, 2018, and I am Loida Albarez.
And I'm Cam Nellum. Thank you for tuning in to our Texan TV newscast.
In campus news, April 23rd to the 28th is a big week here in Stephenville, Texas. This is the week of the Larry Joe Taylor Music Festival, also known as LJT. Many students will be back and forth from the mountain, and safety is playing a major role for the Tarleton State University. The university sent out multiple emails discussing safety and how to report incidents that occur at LJT. Earlier this week, people on campus handed out fanny packs with basic survival items. Also, in the email sent out to students, Tarleton sent a basic survival guide for all those planning to attend the event. Now we go to an interview with Lindsay Lodico.
My name is Lindsay, and last year was my very first year going to LJT. I would definitely recommend taking lots of water and snacks so you make sure to not get dehydrated because it's hot in Texas. Every time you go to the bathroom or anything like that, stay with your buddy. Make sure you know where your group is when you try and go back to find everybody so you don't get lost. Make sure you have a DD lined up. Make sure you have a way to get home, a safe way to get home. Make sure you take some extra money with you so you don't get stuck out there with nothing. And be safe.
And now for local news, Tractor Supply Company in Stephenville is showcasing the talents of local craft makers, artisans, and growers during the Spring Market Day event Saturday, May 12th. Community members are invited to celebrate spring by shopping local, homemade, and homegrown goods at the store from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Crafters and growers will display their goods for sale in tenant areas in front of the Tractor Supply, reports the Stephenville Empire Tribune. Quote, Market Day allows us to provide a space for the community to come together to shop local, support their neighbors, and highlight the incredible talent that's right here in our own backyard, said Greg Keeney, manager of the Stephenville location. For information on ways to participate, call 965-8900.
And now for today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. An Ohio man lost a bid to having his 22-year prison sentence on terrorism conviction thrown out. Court's records show Abdirami Sheikh Muhammad wrote Judge Michael Watson on April 18th asking to be released to help prevent Muslim youth from becoming radicalized. Muhammad pleaded guilty in August 2015 to supporting terrorism and making false statements to authorities. He was accused of plotting to kill the U.S. military personnel in Texas after training with the terrorist organization in Syria. Watson sentenced Muhammad in January and said in a ruling on Wednesday that he no longer had jurisdiction. Homeland Security Investigations says it will eventually seek to deport Muhammad.
In national news, U.S. State Department officials drilled out locks to inspect the former Russian Consul General Seattle resident on Wednesday. The Trump administration announced last month the diplomatic outpost will be closed. Neighbors and Russian citizens react to this action. The Associated Press News has more.
State Department officials in Seattle drilled out locks so they could enter the former Russia Consul General's residence in that city. Russian diplomats are mad.
You can see the Russian flag, so that's the property of the Russian Federation.
U.S. officials said Wednesday they were making sure Russians who were told to leave were actually gone. The Russian embassy calls it an invasion.
That's a very sad day for the Russian-American relations because, well, that's a new blow. And, you know, this Consul General served both American and Russian people living on the western coast. And now these people are left without consular assistance. That's a very sad day.
The activity surprised some neighbors.
It's really surreal for us because we never saw anybody. It was like, is anybody in there? But there had to be.
The Trump administration announced last month the diplomatic outpost would be closed and dozens of Russian diplomats expelled nationwide. It's in response to Russia's alleged role in the poisoning of an ex-spy in Britain. Shirley Smith, The Associated Press.
For more of today's national and international news, we turn to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. South Korea says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will walk across the border between the two countries. He's set to meet with South Korean President Moon Jae-in on Friday. A fired police officer was arrested in California after DNA matched him to a notorious serial murderer known as the Golden State Killer. Joseph James D'Angelo is charged with 8 counts of murder from the 1970s and 80s. Environmental Protection Agency Chief Scott Pruitt testifies on Capitol Hill on Thursday. He's under pressure over spending and ethics scandals. And Jeb Bush says his father, former President George H.W. Bush, is stronger than an ox. The elder Bush was hospitalized with an infection following the funeral of former First Lady Barbara Bush. Shirley Smith, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
In sports, playoff drama continues in the NBA as there were 2 thrillers in last night's slot of games. LeBron James hits the go-ahead game-winning shot for the Cleveland Cavaliers, along with tallying 44 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists to defeat the Indiana Pacers 98-95. Russell Westbrook and Paul George put on a scoring clinic in the second half to come back from a 25-point deficit to keep their playoff hopes alive and top the Utah Jazz 107-99. On to the NFL. The annual NFL Draft will begin tonight at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas tonight, with Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley, and Baker Mayfield headlining this year's draft class.
For today's weather, we go to Madison Gerlin.
The National Weather Service predicts a high of 75 with a low of 51 with sunny skies.
This has been a production of the Texan TV News, a product of the Texan TV News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.
Watch us live on Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 p.m. on weekdays. If you live off campus, tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9.
You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news.
Today's broadcast was produced by Madison Gerlin, Joel Leach, and Caitlin Rivera. Have a wonderful day, Texans.